Now to the occupied West Bank, and a story we've been covering closely this past week. The Palestinian village of Qusra remains under siege by extremist Israeli settlers who are trying to force families off their land through tactics including cutting off access to food and water. Now, a Palestinian-American who owns a house in the village has returned to Qusra from Ohio. Louai Abo Ridi says he fears for his safety amid reports of the Israeli army turning a blind eye to settler violence. Now, in this clip, you get a sense then of some of the tensions between him and the Israeli soldiers.
That's my property
line.
No. That belongs to me.
This.
That belongs to
only
me.
شطح צבאי סגור.
That belongs to me.
It's closed.
That's
It's closed.
my property.
It's closed.
What he's doing here? He's illegal here.
He's go.
He's illegal here. He needs to be arrested.
No illegal. He's go. He go.
Allowed to be in my house.
Yes.
Okay,
this is yours. You're allowed.
That's my property. That's belongs to
Yes,
me.
but
That's all the fence I did. That gate, they damaged it. That's my entrance right here. That's my property. Yes, I'm not going any beyond my property.
okay, just be inside. They go. You be inside.
I'm not
Don't
here.
talk each other. Okay.
I'm not.
I solved this problem.
Yeah, he's the one came to me. I didn't go to
Okay,
him.
there you
I
go.
was walking
You'll be here.
peacefully.
Okay.
With me then is Philip Turle, our Foreign Affairs editor, to talk a little bit about Qusra. And I wonder, Philip, first of all, just what you made of that footage. I'm struck by the Israeli soldiers sort of covering their faces. They remind me a little of ICE agents in the United States.
Well, they certainly don't want to be identified.
Yeah.
And just in recent days, there's been footage of Israeli soldiers who were sent to Qusra to move on these settlers who have been trying to prevent the Palestinians living there from coming out of their houses, the 3 or 4 houses that they've been blockading. And instead of doing that, they were praying with the settlers and then enjoying food with them. The Israeli government has said that that was something that they would not they were not allowed to do, and there would be penalties that would be given down to them. So I think that explains why we've seen many of these soldiers trying to hide their faces, because they know they're either being filmed by people coming by or they're being filmed on cameras that are put up around the houses. But that doesn't change the bottom line here. The bottom line is that these settlers feel emboldened that they can go in and they can cause trouble. No one's going to come down and take any responsibility for that. The government of Benjamin Netanyahu, there's a very interesting interview in the French newspaper Libération today, saying that the fact that the United States has more or less taken away all the red lines as far as the government of Benjamin Netanyahu is concerned makes it feel emboldened. It doesn't feel threatened by the European Union anymore, and it can go ahead and do whatever it likes. Remember, it's also a government that is the most far-right extremist in the history of Israel, with some very outspoken critics of any plan to introduce a two-state solution. That's something that even Benjamin Netanyahu himself has ruled out. So the settlers are feeling emboldened. They feel they can go in and do whatever they want. They feel they've got the army by their side. And that's why this American, whose name is Louai Ridi, came back from Ohio to his house to see how his family was, because they were stuck inside. And his brother was filming that scene where he was arguing with those soldiers, up to even like very closely where the border for the land around his house is situated, and to see the difficulty he has in even trying to make it understood to these Israeli soldiers that this part of the land belongs to him and that part doesn't.
Right, you talk about settlers being emboldened, Philip. I mean, Palestinians for a long time have said actually settlers effectively act with impunity in the West Bank, that the Israeli army kind of lets them do what they want. In this particular case, in Qusra, what are the settlers trying to do?
Well, the settlers generally are living in illegal settlements. They have been banned by international law. They've been given the go-ahead by the Israeli government. There's been a rapid expansion of Israeli settlements over the past 2 years. But what these settlers want is they want the Palestinians to leave. They believe that this land was given to them by God in the Bible, and therefore they have a right to occupy it, and the Palestinians don't have that right. This has even been outlined by the current finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, who's one of the most outspoken far-right members of Benjamin Netanyahu's government. He wrote a pamphlet back in 2017. I'll give you 3 of the points in that pamphlet. The first one is for the Palestinians: either live quietly under Israeli rule and Israeli ownership of the land. Secondly, voluntarily emigrate to other Arab or Muslim countries, Or the third point is, if you want to fight against us, then we will have no choice but to kill you, and we will kill all the Palestinians, because 1 million Palestinians is only worth the life of one Israeli. So that is the mentality of those settlers. They believe it's their land. They call it Judah and Samaria, and they say that history is not something that happened in the last 100 years or 200 years. We're talking about the Bible, and the Bible gave us this land. We're the chosen people, and that's why we have a right to occupy it. Of course, that is not something that's going to go down well with the international community, with human rights groups, with a large sector of the Israeli society who disagree with that. But because of the support that these people have in the government right now with these far-right groups that are helping to prop up Benjamin Netanyahu, that is why they feel emboldened. That is why they're doing this, because they know that they face little or no judicial proceedings if they are to cause trouble in the West Bank.
All right, thank you very much. Philip Turle for us there. Now to